UFO stands for unidentified flying object. Now, recently, these videos, which were that were circulated in 2007 and I believe 2017, have been recently re-released to the public by the Pentagon, and they've been making waves because they show UFOs and legit UFOs. We don't know exactly what these are. Now, if you watch these videos, and these are taken by military pilots and carriers, ship carriers, helicarriers. Kevin, what is it? We don't know. But so these videos come from a reputable source. They have been confirmed to be authentic videos. And when you watch these videos, you look at the footage, that looks like a flying saucer to me. But I will channel Carl Sagan a little bit here by saying, you know that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And in this case, we need to remove ourselves from wanting it to be aliens, to view it from a different perspective. Look, I want it to be aliens too. How cool would that be? It would be the most important discovery or revelation in the history of everything. I want it to be aliens, but if we take out our cultural bias towards little green men and wanting them to exist, are there other explanations that would be sufficient to explain what we see? Now, if you watch the videos of the things that we're looking at, these ones specifically, you see these objects being tracked by infrared cameras. And on top of that, you have the pilot saying, whoa, it's spinning. Dude, what is that? It's going so fast. That is also biasing us. When the pilots themselves want it to be UFOs, or they think it might aliens, and they might think they have this bias that it could be aliens in their mind. When we hear that, it automatically reframes the conversation for us, and we're like, oh yeah, could that be aliens? But again, remove the pilot's subjectivity. They're humans just like us. They're highly trained, but if they've never seen it before, it's unidentified. Same as you and me looking at it. So remove their subjectivity, remove our subjectivity, and let's try to replace it with some objectivity. So these are very advanced infrared cameras. What else could be causing what we see? Well, it's a camera, and it's an infrared. So first of all, the camera. How could we possibly explain these unidentified flying objects apparently accelerating instantaneously to ludicrous speed? And you'll see this time and time again on a number of UFO videos. It seems like these objects will be there one instant and then gone the next, unnaturally accelerating in a way that implies they have some crazy technology. Well, there have been tests done by independent investigatory organizations, and you find that when you are looking at an artifact like this, some blip, you can produce the same crazy acceleration effect if you just change the focus of the camera. So in some of these cameras that are somewhat automatic, which can push in and pull out in terms of focus and all that very quickly, and then you want it to be an alien craft, in the heat of the moment, you could see someone interpreting a quick change of focus, a quick push in on their camera screen to actually the craft moving. It's not as sexy, I know, but a simple push in on a camera could account for some of that motion. The next thing we want to look at is the infrared. So we're not used to looking at the world in infrared. We're used to seeing in the visible light portion of the spectrum. So we do not have an intuition for what everything at all times looks like in infrared. For example, if you were looking in infrared and a bird suddenly flew across your field of view, you might be very frightened by it because it looks like a fast-moving blob right in front of your face. You can't see any details, no feathers, just a blob of heat. Like, what the heck was that? Ghost hunters get fooled like this all the time. So I'm not saying these UFOs were a bird, but I'm also saying that because of our lack of intuition about what everything looks like in infrared, could this more likely be a bird or a swarm of insects, as you can pick up on radar, small balloons, debris floating around in the upper atmosphere, which we know happens? Could it be that? Could it be a reflection off of the water of some heat image? You can reflect your own heat image off of metal. That also happens. Could it be that? Seems like we have a lot more possible explanations than the extremely, extremely unlikely one. And then I will mention one further thing. Right around the time that these videos were coming out, it just so happens that the cameras on these specific ships that were taking these videos, that went on to take these videos, were getting all of their infrared cameras upgraded. And what's weird about this is that they were reporting UFOs all the time, like daily. They were seeing artifacts like this daily. And you think that would have caused more of a stir, but I guess it didn't. But they recently upgraded their cameras. And then they started seeing a lot of different UFOs. And then a couple years later, the reports dropped off almost entirely. It's almost as if people started figuring out what the artifacts were in the image and started correcting for them, rather than capturing ultra-fast, shiny UFO spinning tops flying through the upper atmosphere, not contacting us after traveling many light years for no reason. So, could it be an alien in a spaceship? Yes, I suppose it could. But are there multiple other explanations that make at least as much sense, if not more? Yes. Does this constitute good evidence of aliens? I don't think so.